You're watching JaxBlade's Month of Halloween. Let's get some shit out of some psychopaths. Groovy.
Yo dudes and dudettes, your friendly neighborhood JaxBlade is here with another video for y'all today. And today is something that a lot of you have just been asking me to talk about ever since I did my Kengan versus Baki video, just because I hinted at it briefly and I've been hinting at it for years. And this is going to be the video where we're talking about Hayato Furinji from Kenichi the Mightiest Disciple versus Yujiro Hanma from Baki the Grappler. Yes, so this is going to be just a big fun discussion video. And I was going to do originally like one of those skit videos, but I thought this would be even more fun if I brought in the GOAT of nerd fitness and anime training, who's been doing this since I want to say around 2005-ish, 2006-ish, around early times. He's like the OG, my sensei, my coach, my like friend ever since then. He like actually taught me when I was a teenager, and I just have nothing but respect for him. The Stephen Ross, the anime trainer. So welcome. How you doing, sensei?
I'm doing all right. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Like, I really had to get you in on this video because, like, we've been massive fans of both of these series for just years now, and then all these other people have just started watching the Netflix Baki, and they're just like, oh, well, let's talk about this thing, and it's cool, but it's just like, all right, guys, you didn't watch the OG Baki. You need to watch the OG Baki and understand it, because there's so many people keep saying, oh, Baki on Netflix is season 1.
Baki season 1.
Like, come on, it's season 3 and season 4. Get that right, people. It's not that hard. But
cool. Yeah. So these characters are like obviously the most ridiculous characters in both of their respective series.
Exactly. Yeah. They're like the freaking OP. Like, okay, they're freaking. I mean, I wouldn't compare it to like One Punch Man or Saitama, but like they are like the OP. Like they're the beast of their series. They're like the top dog, the ceiling.
Yeah, they're
of
like
their
the
series.
Standard of their series. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody else is compared to them.
Exactly. It's just like, okay, everyone is just like, you cannot compare to us in this way. So it's great. And so like what we're going to do today is like, we thought it'd be fun just to like match them. Cause so many people are just like, well, these two are freaking beasts, right? So why don't they have a match? Like who would win? And then there are so many people, especially since Yujiro did his whole thing this season in Baki. So everyone's like hyped up on Yujiro right now. And so we were like, you know, we had to go back and like look at the OG and just like decide to compare all these stats from. So today what we're going to be looking at is we're going to be comparing like first their height, their weight, their ages, their fighting styles, and then just to like break it down into strength, speed, intellect, endurance, durability. And we're just gonna have a fun conversation talking about this, analyzing it, because we're both like massive geeks for both of these series, and we've like completed both of them, and we're caught up on all the stuff. So it's just like, this is gonna be extra fun for us too. And I just want
because a lot of the guys that are you know, just getting into the later Baki stuff, they've obviously not read the manga, but then like the people that are, you know, that have watched History's Strongest Disciple or Kenichi the Mightiest Disciple, and seen the anime, they're missing so much because it never got an anime.
Yeah, exactly.
And so they don't really know what the Elder's really capable of.
Exactly. Like maybe Kenichi might get like a thing, because they had those OVAs come out like years later, but then like they never really had a chance to go back and compare. Like they never got to see like how just OP the Elder was. It was just like, oh, he would just, you know, train Kenichi, and everyone says he's strong, so he must be strong. So, but right now, since they show in the manga just how beast this dude is, and yeah, hopefully we'll get a Kenichi thing. But like, yeah, let's get right into this right now then. All right. So height wise, all right, so let's look at Hayato Furinji. The man is about 6'6". That's like over 2 meters, 6'6" and a half. And our boy Yujiro is 6'5". So if you had to give these guys like a reach, sensei, like how would you like analyze that, just like for each one?
I mean, you would have to have their, you know, hold their wingspan out, you know,
right,
and then compare it to their height.
Exactly.
You know, you have the known of their height, so you'd have to you know, do it that way. But it's sort of difficult unless they're in that stance.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, so I mean, like, we'll just say that, you know, they're comparable. Since they are comparable in height, we'll just say that they have comparable reach as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable.
Yeah, that is reasonable. Though, like, something that I think is like funny is like, okay, so like Hayato is like his weight is like he's about like 225, and it's just like, okay, that big dude is only 225. Like, are you serious?
It says that his weight is over 100 kilograms, but they never really specifically say how much he weighs. But
Yeah.
if you look at the mass on that guy, it's definitely more than 220.
Yeah, they can't be 225. That's some like Dragon Ball Z, like, oh, Vegeta's only like 112 pounds. Like, get that out of my face with that. No, that's not how. This is not how that goes. You see that dude tanking, and then like Yujiro's like 300 pounds of muscle,
If I had to give, just looking at the elder, if I had to give him a weight, I'd call it 280,
Right.
maybe 290. Just looking at him, because he's so, because he's not a small man.
No, he's not. He is one towering big dude. And apparently, like, this is a surprise to both me and Sensei right now. He's 90 plus years old, and that's not the end of the series. He was 90 plus when he's first introduced, and I was just like, I for the longest time thought he was like 60 or 70. Like,
I thought he was in his 60s. But now, mind you, it's an estimate according to the guidebooks.
Right.
It's unknown.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It's up in the air.
Yeah.
But he's definitely older than Yujiro.
Yeah, he's definitely older than Yujiro, but he's not younger. He's definitely older than Yujiro and younger than Master Roshi. That's all we can know. All right, unless he found some Fountain of Youth thing or something like that, or maybe him and Roshi trained together. There you go, fan artists. Have fun with that. But and then Yujiro is about like a dude in his 40s, so he's like 40 in his mid 40s, and that's reasonable. He looks like he's in his mid 40s. He fought
He's
like
got a kid who's like 18 years old. So
yeah, exactly. So he was decimating like armies like when he was like a teenager. So that makes perfect sense. And then fighting style wise, basically they're both super mixed martial artists. They know everything, but like for Hayato, his main style is called Furinji style, and it's just a combination of various martial arts. So again, super MMA guy. And then Yujiro, like the manga says, he knows every style. He just, as we were talking earlier, he just has to see it and then he can like mimic it and then like do it and stuff like that. So
yeah,
that's a cool style.
And with him. Obviously there's like always a stated style in a universe,
right,
in a fictional universe, and then there's like, we can look at it from an objective standpoint and say, what his style actually is. Both of them have like massive ability to do like, for striking and whatnot.
Exactly.
But we don't really have a like a good sense of their ability to do any sort of grappling, because we've never seen it.
Yeah, ironically, for a series called Baki the Grappler, there's barely any grappling.
Oh yeah, well no, like in the people who do grappling, like the grappling level in Grappler Baki is very, very low.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you actually see better grappling in Kenichi than you do in Baki.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, I wonder if like freaking Cosmo from Kengan would come over. It's like, what the hell do y'all even do? It's just like.
Oh yeah, I mean, like the level of grappling in Kengan is like top tier.
Yeah, that's like top tier, but that's a video for another day if we talk about Kengan.
Is.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that another day, people. But yeah, so that's their fighting styles. They've got like a bunch of qualities to them. They're like the goats in their series. So right now what we're gonna do is just identify their strength, speed, intellect, endurance, and durability. And surprisingly, like there's a lot of stuff where people will go like, oh no, this should be like one-sided, but it's just like, oh, some things are close, some things are just it. So how about we talk about strength first? Anything you want to specifically say on that, Sensei?
I guess if do you want to start with Hayato or Yujiro first?
Let's talk with Hayato. Yeah, Hayato.
Okay, so we'll talk about Hayato first. So with strength stuff, I mean, I think some of the most like, because there's like overall huge strength things, and then there's small movement things. So like he can cut concrete with his bare hands. He's been seen clipping and tree limbs with his fingers like scissors.
Right.
Which is stupid, like stupid strong.
Exactly.
Such a minor thing, but really just like a massive feat.
Right.
And it's not like even hard. And like the man, some of the bigger stuff, he's flipped a tank.
Yeah, he flipped the
also
tank.
Yeah.
He kicked the pool in
he
half when he like that was
Yeah.
like a joke thing, but it was like no, that was how much power he had. He kicked that pool in half.
He can throw a human being like a shuriken.
Yes.
Which, for the record, even though that he's supposed to be a Katsujinken, he killed that man.
Yeah.
If he threw that man like that, that man is dead.
Yeah, he's gone. He's gone. I don't care who you are. Your insides are putty. Unless you are like something you want to tell us, like you got some Deadpool-esque regeneration, you gone, dog. You are freaking
That's
gone.
like Yujiro using a man like a nunchuck.
Yeah, Yujiro freaking used a new man like a nunchuck. But all right, so this is something I feel like we should also talk about because like this is the thing that people always talk about with the strength thing that always comes up. It's always like, oh well, Yujiro is a bit stronger because of this earthquake feat he did where he punched the ground and an earthquake happened. But we actually had discussion on that. So like there's this notion that okay, when he did that, like that was just Yujiro's like ultimate strength, but when you really look at it, during the rest of the series, he didn't really do anything like that again. Like,
No.
and if he was fighting other people, they would be pretty much like Saitama, like going through monsters. They would explode. Like if he was punching people.
Yeah, I mean,
like
if you had the level of strength to counter the force of a earthquake, any person that you hit would turn into goo.
yeah,
And but we do have a reference for his strongest punch,
yes,
and we have it during the Raitai tournament.
yes.
When
You probably
he
saw this
is-
on Netflix, people too. Like he just did it
Yeah.
on the Netflix season 4.
When when he's fighting Kakukayo, he's like, well, here, let me show you my strength, and he creates that big crater in the ground, and I mean, it's like that's a huge feat. I'm not gonna like downplay that feat. That's a huge feat, but it's not stopping a earthquake. It's just not.
Yeah, because like the thing with Yujiro, also like this, we'll probably talk about like this in like the durability thing again. But like there is some inconsistencies with this thing. Like for instance, one of the stupidest things they did with Yujiro in the original series was like, okay, he gets tranked by like all these blue whale. It's like ridiculous. Like okay, so you're telling me all the years you've been fighting this man who's been decimating armies, it takes like some tranquilizers that can trank a blue whale to take him down, and no one ever
not
hit him
only
with
that,
this
but
before.
Tranquilizers fired from guys who are basically just security guards.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's just like this. It's literally the equivalent of Super Saiyan Blue Goku getting taken down by a laser that they didn't specify. Like, you know what? I'm gonna go on a little tangent about that stupid laser real quick. All right, like all they had to do to fix that scene was just show Frieza put his key into a blaster and be like, "Here,
Yep.
take this little
That's
blaster. This is my key, and when you can use it for one shot to take this down." Like that's all you had to do to fix it. But otherwise,
All
it's
you
just
had to do.
a fucking blaster. It's silly.
Yeah, so like, I want to identify outlier feats because I think that's if you take something that is inconsistent with the rest of the story,
Right.
like the earthquake or for instance, getting tranked, like that, you could chop off both of those, because they're such outliers to the rest of what you see.
Right.
In the same way, the Elder has an outlying feat.
Right.
When he throws the Megaton bomb.
Yeah. Yeah.
Far enough away to it not affect the ship or him in like 5 seconds.
Right.
That's like Superman level feat. Like not even like actual Superman level.
Yeah,
feat.
exactly. He is called Hayato the Superman.
The Invincible Superman.
The Invincible Superman. So
yeah, we can probably chop that one off for Hayato, and we can chop off the earthquake for Yujiro because they're pretty much outliers.
right. Okay, then. So like pretty much at this point, I would say like, do you think it's fair to say that Hayato is just physically stronger from what he's shown, like to comparatively, since Yujiro's like best strength feat, if we were honestly like going like not an outlier feat, like something that he's constantly like, okay, that makes sense, especially with the caliber of fighters he's fighting, that like this punch he did right here is like his max strength, while working Hayato's like done a bunch of stuff, but he's consistently done those things. Like, would you say that?
So let's talk a little bit about more specific like normal Yujiro feats.
Okay, sure. Let's do it.
So some stuff that he's done is like he's pushed against a large number of police officers all at once.
Yes.
He's kicked down an iron door. He was able to like casually, well, he killed a giant
Polar bear.
elephant with. Well, he killed a giant elephant too.
Oh yeah, he killed a giant elephant too. Yeah, he killed that big ass elephant. Yeah.
And like that was an elephant. Like they had like military things trying to deal with it, and it wouldn't go down. And he like murdered it with his bare hands. So I mean, like that's a pretty crazy feat. So I mean, like, and he also can casually like just break normal like fighters.
Exactly. Like he freaking like also did that stomp when he was like really mad at Ali Jr. for running away from him, and like it sounded like, oh crap, a bomb went off in this freaking.
Didn't he like shatter the windows too? Didn't that happen?
Yeah. Wasn't that when he was fighting Baki though in the manga, or was that like no? Because I think like when he did it in the because recently. If you watch the one on Netflix and read the manga, like when he did the stomp, it just made a big ass noise that reverberated all through the building. Like he didn't crack the windows on that one. I think he did with Baki though. When he was fighting Baki, I think he cracked the windows on that one.
And he has a couple of like small strength feats too, like blocking people's punches with flicks.
Yeah.
So he's got just like the Elder has like his small strength feats and big strength feats. So does Yujiro has the same things. But if you look at all of them together and add them up, Hayato plainly has an advantage.
Right. Right.
Just because like they the 0.0002% combination thing that he uses against
when he was fighting Miyu and Kenichi, right?
Yeah, and they're saying like and Sakaki says even at 0.0002% of his power, he's still the strongest man on Earth, and it's like that's insane. And he easily just like puts his hands inside of a tree and then opens it like it's curtains.
Yeah. It's just like, oh yeah, where are you guys at? This is easy for me to do. It's just, and he was blindfolded too, so it's just like, oh my god, like this is like so OP. And then I know some people will say like, well, because like this is something that also a lot of people always bring up is like if one show is like more comedic than the other, it's just like, oh well, that's more like Toon Force power than actual power. But it's just like, no, he consistently shows his power.
That doesn't apply to Hayato. Now I mean like I'm not going to say that he stomps Yujiro in the strength department,
right?
Because I don't think that's fair. But I think he has an advantage because he can just kind of like what Yujiro does with some effort. Like for instance, when he was fighting, remember when Yujiro and this is post anime. So when Yujiro and Baki are actually fighting, he has that Baki does the Tiger King move on him, and has him in a lock, and he just puts his hand into the concrete, like, and it's
he
like
just digs his fingers into it,
ridiculous.
Like,
but I mean but Hayato does something very similar. There's definitely a wider variety of feats that we have for Yujiro because obviously we get to see more of him over time, and we don't like the Elder. We didn't get to really see the Elder show out till later.
Yeah, like the Elder was pretty much just like, okay, this is the top tier of what you can be in this series, and he was just like the ceiling of just like, oh, if you keep training, you can someday be on this level, and then you can bang my fine ass granddaughter if you get to this level, which again, like, is pretty much just like you let the boy win, so you can bang me. Come on, be real here. Like,
I think that that if let's pick 3 feats that we think that are not outliers that we can assign to each one.
Okay, so something similar for each one, then I would assume.
Yeah, that we can compare.
Okay, so like kicking a tank fully, I would say like that's like comparable to
the Iron Door.
Iron Door, yeah, sure. Iron Door, like a tank is shit. I'll Google how much a tank weighs. A tank weighs like 75 tons. And 75 tons to pounds.
And he was able to flip that and like move it with a kick.
Yeah. That is like 150,000 pounds. And he was able to like kick it with a kick. So he is one strong dude. Okay, and then like what for Yujiro? Like the of course the punch to the ground. Like we're counting that. Just like okay.
Yeah. So maybe like the big it's not a small tree that he just opens like a curtain.
Oh yeah, that was a big ass tree. That was a big tree.
And and that's not an easy move to do. If you turn your reach out in front of you, turn your palms away from each other, and then touch the back of your hands together. That position is an extremely weak position to be able to do a movement from.
Exactly.
And so like the fact that he could do that in that position is monumentally strong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I'm thinking of like, because I was about to say something like durability wise, but we're gonna talk durability specifically because it's just but shit.
He chops through the locks of a military gate with his bare hands.
Yeah, he holds back all those people by himself, but like it's just like because like the thing is like Hayato like blitzed people and was just sending them flying like rag dolls like nothing. So it's just What?
Okay, so all right, this is gonna require a little bit of scaling.
Okay.
But he casually overpowers Oliva.
Oh yeah, Oliva is a strong dude who holds down a freaking helicopter, pulling away full force, and he's like training hardcore. He was able to squash like fighters with ease, easily one of the top tier fighters until. So I'm not gonna say that, but something else happens. But yeah, easily one of the top, and at the end, like him and Yujiro get into like a grip contest, and he easily like overpowers him. Like, okay, yeah, like you're nothing.
Okay, the world's largest heavy lift helicopter is capable of transporting 44,000 pounds.
Okay,
and so Oliva could rep that.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say if you can rep that. Then I'm gonna say that honestly, I guess now that I look at it, their level of strength is probably pretty equal.
Yeah, pretty equal. Yeah, honestly, they like the more I'm looking at this right now, it's just like he is like honestly, there are some parts where you could say like they're very much similar to themselves because I feel. Like in this hypothetical, if they were actually near each other and then they did this, like they had like a feat of strength off, like Yujiro could like match most of what he did, like just casually stuff like that.
Because if you can lift 44, basically lift 44,000 pounds for reps.
Yeah,
I bet you could probably move 175,000 once.
Exactly. So
so there's probably. They're probably equal enough based on the wide variety of things.
Okay, so who would you say is the bit smaller? Would you call this a draw, or would you say like it's like one of them's like a bit in the other? Because like to me, I think like Hayato, but again, like I'm looking at certain.
I think Hayato edges him out just a little bit.
That's what I was about to say.
But it's way more equal than I initially thought about it.
Yeah, because they're super close. Like this is the thing, people watching this, like this is why this is a great matchup, because it's not like, oh, what would happen if Goku and Naruto fought? It's just like, no, it's okay. Like this is way closer than you would think. Like there's a lot of coolness in this, but yeah, I would give this definitely like Hayato by a smidge. Hayato's a
smidge advantage.
Invincible. Okay, cool. So Hayato wins the first thing for strength. All right, so right now we're going to talk about speed. Now, speed-wise, Hayato can run like freaking Jesus on water, so that's pretty fast.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so let's talk about. There aren't actually not a lot of speed feats for Hayato in the series.
Yeah.
But the ones that we have, he's obviously able to run on water, which I don't know how fast you'd have to be able to run on water. How fast?
I think you because there was this like that video of that guy doing it like only for
30
a few steps,
meters
like,
a second.
Little thing. It wasn't like actually like running on water. It was like running on platforms that sink really fast or something like that. But you'd
have to run 30 meters a second, it says.
30 meters per second to run on water? Oh my god. Yep. Damn. Okay.
Which is pretty insane. So we have at least a standard for that.
Okay,
some other speed feats that we have. He can dodge helicopter gunfire.
Oh yeah, that super fast reaction time, because like a helicopter freaking minigun coming at you, like that's super, like that's incredibly like speed worth.
Yeah, and then there's a high-speed camera that attempts to capture him doing things, but he's still a blur on it, even though it's 1/1000th of its speed.
Okay, that is insane.
Yeah. And I think that's during the Disciple tournament.
Mm-hmm.
And what's so funny, this is kind of off topic, but one thing I love about that is that everybody knows that he's the elder. When he's got his mask on, he's pretending to be teenager X or whatever.
Right.
But it's like everybody recognizes the fact that no one can stop him. So they're just going to let him do whatever he wants.
Exactly. It's just like, do what you want. Like, if you're that strong, you pretty much just, the world law works differently for you. You just do what you want. So it's a good thing he's a good guy and a nice person. So yeah,
So
see, if Death Battle you ever do this and you want to get your facts right, listen to this video, and then that'll be the thing. Like, Yujiro's doing what he wants, but he's bad about it, and Elder's like, well, you can't do what you want, I do it. Something. There you go.
all right, so I'm going to see how fast you'd have to move on a normal camera to be a blur.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Because it's cool to make yourself into a blur, people. Like, just move your hand, like, really fast and see how much it turns into a blur when you're, like, flapping it really fast. So, like, just think of that at a higher level.
Human eyes can see at about a 1/30th second shutter speed, about 15 frames per second. So it depends on how far they are away from you,
Right.
obviously. And that camera was positioned pretty far away.
Right.
So the fact that he was still a blur is pretty ridiculous, because if you think about, even if it was just 100 or 200 meters away, think about being 100 or 200 meters away from a car, and then being completely perpendicular to that car and watching it drive.
Right.
Even if it was moving at 100 miles an hour, you would still be able to see it.
Right.
Like, so that means that he's moving maybe, like Mach. He's
Mach. Yeah, Mach,
Yeah.
pretty much. Yeah. Yeah, I would agree with that right there.
And that's a high-speed camera.
Yeah.
So that's probably if I had to give a that's probably his top tier speed feat.
Okay, yeah, I would probably give him that too. Like, for Yujiro, like, he was able to freaking catch that arrow like from like a few seconds away, but like he's much faster than that now, because he was able to respond to Masashi, who was just ridiculously fast, and he was able to like counter him. He was also able to dodge bullets, apparently, because like every time we see him in like war, he's just like running really fast, like going through bullets and stuff like that. But like, again, like foot speed wise and reaction speed wise and fighting speed wise, like so like let's look, because like honestly, like, okay, if they were to have like a standard foot race, I would say freaking, of course, Hayato would win, since he's running on
absolutely.
water, like,
and he can
easily.
also run on treetops.
Yeah, exactly. So I would say easily Hayato wins in a foot race. But then when it comes to combat speed,
maybe they're comparable, just because Yujiro is technically, he has been able to move his limbs faster than the speed of sound.
right.
But we don't know like how much faster than the speed of sound. So let's see here.
Well, like, also you remember, like, because he is faster than Kensei, who dodges Shigure, and Shigure is like so fast she can cut like over 1,000 times the speed of like fighter jets. I remember something ridiculous like that in the freaking manga. And then other fighters,
I kind of remember that.
Yeah, and then like other fighters at superhuman levels aren't able to keep up with her, and he's like much faster than both of them. Like, he's much faster than Kensei and Shigure, so I think that like makes him like a bit.
Okay. Yeah. Now that I'm looking at it, if we're trying to compare speed, it's not remotely comparable. Like Hayato dunks on Yujiro in the speed department.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, like, now, because it's just like, yeah, I was just remembering that, because like, yeah, he's 4 times faster than Kensei, who dodges Shigure, and Shigure's super fast. So, and then just, running wise and stuff like that. So
now it is claimed that Yujiro can dodge lightning.
It's claimed, but is it shown? Because like, I remember he got struck by lightning, and he was just like, oh, that was just, I got annoyed by it.
So let's just just a second. Let's do a wank argument
Okay.
and see if we how fast he would have to be to dodge lightning.
Okay.
How fast would you? 61 miles a second, so it's
Okay.
Mach 286.
Okay.
So, that's the only feat that puts him on the level of speed of Hayato. That's the only feat.
Right.
And that only works because we basically made it a wank argument.
Exactly. It's only a wank argument. And for people who don't know what wank arguments are, it's just like it's buffing the character to the absolute max from some like obscure feat they did that was just like, oh snap, like they were able to do this. Like freaking Goku's stronger than the dead zone, which means he's stronger than freaking reality Ben. Something like that.
Yeah.
Like,
and
yeah.
since he's in Yujiro's case, since it was claimed that he could dodge lightning, but we don't actually have a actual feat seeing him do that. That's why it's a wank for him.
Yeah. So pretty much it's just we haven't seen it yet. They could easily like show it later if they want to, but they haven't at this point. So again, like at this point right now, Hayato straight up dunks on Yujiro just from what he's shown.
Yeah, and the only way that you could remotely make them comparable is if you use the wank argument, which is which if you do the same thing, if you give Hayato the same respect, as far as that goes, then it would be even worse.
Yeah.
So right now we've got Hayato barely edging him out in strength and then completely destroying him in the speed department.
Yep. There you go. All right, people.
All right.
So now we're talking about intellect. And Yujiro is surprisingly like quite the intellectual. He's like always like able to talk and explain things that you're just like, oh, you're not just the random caveman. You're actually educated and you know what you're talking about in this regard. And he's like cultured and stuff like that, which is surprising.
Actually like surprisingly cultured.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that is pretty fascinating. But then, like, of course, like the elder is just like very experienced. Like, but who would you say is more intelligent in that regard?
Intelligent. I would probably give that to Yujiro.
Yeah.
Because he's much more tactically minded. When he was fighting in, when he was in Vietnam fighting the United States, he was just, doing all kind, things that were really tactical.
Right.
During, and I mean, obviously, like. The elder may be capable of that, but we just haven't seen him do any kind of like tactical stuff. He's just able to overcome anything without the need.
Yeah, I'm Superman. I can just blitz all of you. Like I've never lost a fight in my life. I can just.
So he doesn't need the strategy. Mm-hmm. But Yujiro, sometimes even if he doesn't need the strategy, will still use it because it gives it's fun.
Right. Exactly. And then also like I also there's like that degree of like I'm able to adapt to like see what my opponent is doing, copy it on the spot, and then do it better than my opponent too. Though I think like Hayato could do that as well, but like
so
Yujiro like makes a big like thing of like, oh, I can do this, but I'm going to show you why it's useless.
Do we want to include in intellect skills?
Sure. Yeah. Sure, let's do that.
Okay, so we can talk a little bit more about Hayato that way if we include the intellect. Include skills in that intellect. Talking.
Okay, cool.
Because he has, he is said to have the legendary 108 techniques that he invented, basically.
Yes.
Now we don't get to see all of them, because it's. I don't think narratively there would have been enough time for him to go through all of that stuff. And some of them are a little ridiculous.
Yeah, it's silly.
Like the shockwave of forgetfulness.
Yeah. Like, again, it's like one of those things where they take a character and they make him like comically strong, and then like most of it's like played up for like comedy, but like they're still actually valid to what they're doing. Because I know some people will be like, oh, well, would you say like freaking Ed from Ed, Edd n Eddy could body Kid Goku since he was able to do this? And yes, he could, but that's not the point. The thing is, but it's like, yeah, he does a bunch of insane, silly stuff like that.
So like he has a wide variety of technical skills, and fight with basically any part of his body. He can split himself in two so that both parts of his body function completely differently. So like he just splits himself down the middle. His left side can function by itself and his right side can function by itself.
Right.
Even so much as to have individual conversations on both sides. And I can't even imagine the level of the concentration required for something like that.
Right, exactly.
So that feat alone puts his mental capabilities like super high.
Right.
And then you have like the super flow state with the Ryusui Seikuken.
Right.
And so like that that is also another. So he definitely has intellect feats, so to speak.
Right.
But that doesn't necessarily mean that he's like educated or anything. He's just like raw ability in that way.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Actually, it does make sense because it's just like, okay, your raw ability in the sense of like, I'm able to use these techniques that I've made to benefit myself in combat a lot more. So it's like being a genius at like combat, while Yujiro is not only a genius at combat, but he's like more intellectual, like just mainstream stuff too, of just like, well, did you know that the human body does this, like, because freaking Yujiro has that power to see like if you're weak, he can just be like, okay, well, you have this wrong with you and you have this wrong with you, and this is just by me being stronger than you. I'm like somehow able to see this, there's something wrong with you just by me doing this. So there's certain things like that I find really interesting as well that Yujiro can do.
Yeah. I mean, some of the cool things that we've seen Yujiro do are the thing where he lets his where you put your guard down and then it's basically the Seikuken.
Yeah.
When he's fighting Doppo.
Right. Oh yeah. When he does the thing where he like lets Doppo like touch his chest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's basically the same thing, and then he's obviously capable of doing Shaolei technique. The only as far as techniques go, Yujiro's so focused on his strength that it gives the elder the technical advantage, because the elder will also just use technique because he's a martial artist.
Yeah, exactly. Like the
He's
thing
not-
about
he's
like
not gonna say,
Yujiro
"I'm the
people
strongest."
is like, because we actually had this talk on Twitter the other day, or like a few months ago actually, where it's just like who's the most skilled physical like martial artist and stuff like that. And then when you like see like Yujiro or like Goku and all these other people, and it's just like, okay, they're strong as frick and they're freaking like just knocking people out. But like when you go down to like the technicalities, there's a lot of stuff where it's just like, okay, I'm just bodying you with my strength. Like it's just pretty much like I am just so much more powerful than you that I don't have to use any skill. Like I can just like, you put my hand out, you're gone. And it's just like, there it is. So
yeah, it's like a Superman thing. Superman doesn't need to know how to fight for the most part.
Right.
And so it's like, obviously he can beat a lot of other people, but if all things being equal, then, he doesn't really have any technical ability.
Right.
So because, if we equalized all the stats of Yujiro and Hayato, Hayato would have the advantage technically.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that Yujiro might actually be smarter though.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So for this one, since it's, I would say like primarily like intellect stuff, but like skill wise, like, you know what? Do you think we should?
We might need to split it.
Well, no, actually, like because
Yeah,
we
we
have
need to
like
split
5
it.
things, so because we want to do a thing. So
Oh yeah.
yeah. Okay. So I would say like Hayato wins in skill, but like Yujiro is much more intelligent. So
Yeah,
like, would
if
that
I
be
had
like
to give
a
it-
draw then?
Yeah, let's call it a draw.
Okay, so this is a draw. Yeah, intellect complete draw.
Because even though Yujiro doesn't have all of those techniques, he has been shown to be able to copy somebody's technique, seeing it one time.
Right.
So he would probably, with his knowledge of the human body and his ability to basically have complete control of his own body, he would probably see the elder do something and go, oh, okay, and then be able to do it himself.
Yeah, because like even the
it-
general said like the most powerful muscle in Yujiro's is freaking brain, like because he knows he's the strongest, he knows he's the best. So like if he honestly believes it and then he like sees it and is able to adapt it, that makes him just like incredibly like a force of
So if
nature,
we-
just because his brain is so like powerful in that regard.
If we imagine a situation where they get into a fight and they're both having fun because they both like to fight.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, you know, the elder's like, well, let me try this out and let me try this out. And it's just, it basically every time if he tried another technique, if it didn't just completely win the fight, Yujiro would basically have access to it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like cool like that. It's just like it's sort of like the Fang of Metsudo when he like evolves his like martial arts, where he's like, I see it, I'm able to now use that as part of my arsenal. So thank you for that. So like that's the same thing with like Yujiro, just on an advanced level of just like I see it, I've been hit with it, now I know how to use it, and now I understand it. So yeah, I definitely this is a good draw right here. So yeah, skill wise,
I think that's a draw.
And then, yeah. All right, good one. All right, so next one we're going to talk about endurance, stamina endurance, stuff like that. So,
Okay.
all right, so stamina-wise,
Now, do we want in stamina? Are we also including durability in that? So stamina and durability being combined.
oh, do you want to make stamina part of durability instead?
Well, is stamina separate than that?
Well, I was gonna like because I was like endurance, like the how much they can like put out, and then like to me like endurance is like how much they can keep going and going and going, but durability is
all right.
like how much they can like tank.
No,
like,
good. Yeah, yep, that's good. We'll do that.
Okay.
All right, so endurance then.
So endurance wise, like he freaking the elder, he was able to fight for a week without food and water with that one guy.
Okay, that's one of his. That's definitely an insane feat to be able to nonstop fight with somebody who is basically the same strength as you.
Exactly. That was like some freaking One Piece thing when like Ace and freaking oh god, why am I blanking on?
It's okay, I'm doing it too.
Oh my god.
Is it an A name?
It was a fish. It was a fishman who saved. Oh my god! I know my comment section is screaming. It's this guy. Oh my freaking god! I know who it is. Ace was fighting freaking. Oh my god! Why did I know this?
You know what? We'll move on, and then you'll remember in the middle of.
I know I will. It's gonna be one of those annoying things where I'm just like, come on now, like you know exactly who the frick this is. Oh my god. Why is Jinbei? It just clicked in my head when freaking Ace and Jinbei were fighting. Freaking Jinbei's a boss. I can't believe I forgot about Jinbei.
So
Jinbei's a boss. So yeah.
As has been the norm in this conversation between the two characters, there's not as many feats for the elder.
Yeah.
So as far as his stamina is concerned, the fighting on his endurance, fighting for a week straight without any food or rest, that's a god tier,
that's like some freaking Asura's Wrath god level video game, Kratos level thing where you're just like on fighting for a week straight without like food and water and whatever.
Yeah, so I mean, if you think about some of the most advanced endurance athletes on the planet, if you have like ultra runners,
right?
Sometimes they'll go days on very very little sleep. 2-3 hours here and there, to do multi-day races. So if we assume that both of them decided on honor that they could sleep 2 or 3 hours a day, and then continue their fight, that's basically ultra marathon level of endurance, but even more so because they're doing high intensity movements.
Right, exactly. Like fighting is super high intensity movement and like doing it consistently. Like freaking the elder, if I remember correctly, he was like freaking eating like trees and bark and stuff like that mid-fight just to get some energy to keep going and stuff like that.
I think a bird. He just grabbed a bird, like
exactly.
Like that. He just ate the bird, like just
Exactly.
and actually think eating the bird mid fight gave him a leg up because he was they've been fighting for such a long time.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think you have ultra marathoners that do that kind of stuff, and then another real world example would be something like spec ops guys.
Yeah, right.
Guys that are out in the field doing combat, and they only sleep 2 or 3 hours because they're marching and fighting and doing all kinds. So I mean that might even be a better parallel.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, that's an insane feat, and then also the ability. I think there's the only other stamina feat that we have is him nonstop running on the trees and the water.
Right.
For like an extremely long distance.
Exactly. Like he was able to like freaking like run like again like dash from the Incredibles and stuff like that on water and like on trees and stuff like that. Like he's just able to keep going and going and going, and that's like insanely fast, and have the endurance to keep on going like that. That is absolutely insane. That is absolutely like freaking insane. Like it's just.
Yeah. So and it's usable endurance because it's not just like. I walked for several days.
Exactly. I walked for 7 days. It's like freaking. Honestly, it's sort of like on par with when Yusuke like came back from the dead and was like running with the demons for like 7 days, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm just able to keep running with you guys. There's no sleep, no water." Just so it really is one of those supernatural feats where it's like, okay, this is getting like out there now. This is ridiculous.
Yeah. So let's see about Yujiro's stuff. With his endurance,
yeah.
He's able to swim for long periods of time.
He was doing those laps in the pool like consistently.
Well, it was one of those pools that moves the water at a certain speed.
Oh yeah, like a wave machine.
Yeah, and he was able to go at 22 or 23 miles an hour using the butterfly, and he was doing that for, I think, casually for like an hour.
Right.
So for him, that was just relaxing.
Right.
For an hour.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was just like chilling out, just like, oh, I'm able to do this back and forth, and he was like completely fine doing it. He like when he got out, he wasn't breathing hard or anything. He was just like, oh, what do you want? I'm just like chilling in my class and stuff.
Trying to think of some other ones. I have another one, but I'm trying to think of another one before I say that other one. Okay, well, the one I was thinking of is he, for an extended period of time, actually fought in a battlefield, like war.
Yeah, he fought in, like, war, like, going around, like, foddering, like, the military just for fun. Like, he was just doing that, like, just to test his ability.
With no weapons.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I would say that, because we compared the endurance feat to... Spec Ops guys, that's similar, but the problem is that he's never fought anyone at his level for that length of time.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, he probably can go a lot longer, but he's like, there's the only one he's really the longest we saw him fight was freaking against Baki for like that many chapters, and it was like he it was just like a thing. It wasn't the fight ended with them like just respecting each other, but they weren't like completely like breathing hard. He wasn't like oh my god.
I think Baki was pretty tired.
Yeah, Baki was tired. Freaking Yujiro was just like, okay, that was fun. I respect you, kid, and like that was it.
So yeah, we don't really have a comparable feat for Yujiro to be able to say that he could go for that period of time. But if we think about that, him casually doing some of the other things for extended period of time, he can stay for several hours in a split just chilling.
Mm-hmm.
The things that he does that are high level normal, like if you take a human being and max them out, like the maximum human potential, he does those things casually for long periods of time.
Exactly, like Captain America ain't shit to Yujiro, to be honest. It's just like
yeah, he's definitely got some endurance, but I keep coming back to we don't have Hayato has a comparable opponent that he fought for basically a week.
Yeah. Exactly, a week. Like Yujiro just hasn't had that. And again, it's like one of those things, like you could say it. Like it's one of those things where, oh, I don't know, they haven't shown it, but it's just okay, from going off what we've seen, yeah, he probably does have high level endurance, and we're not like dissing Yujiro's endurance at all. It's just the fact that he is so strong and so powerful. This is like a compliment to him. Like he is so strong and powerful that no one has been able to like be on par with him for such a long period of time. Like that's why I'm mad freaking Motobe like had to go ruin that fight with him and Musashi, because it's just like, okay, that could have been like a cool little thing of like, oh, they've been fighting for 3 days straight nonstop or something like that, but no, he had to get in the way. So it really depends. Like on this one, just from what is shown, just from what Hayato has done, shown, like being able to run and stuff like that, I would probably give the endurance to Hayato in this regard as well, just because that is completely superhuman. Like you are fighting barely, like going on the tip of your toes, fighting a high level opponent, and we already know how high level Hayato is from all his skills, his abilities, all that stuff, and he's fighting on par with someone like comparable to him for 1 week and just like keeping it going. Like he didn't even take a dump when doing this. Like
I mean,
or if he did, I don't remember.
The fact that that's an extremely high skill feat in and of itself,
right?
It's that, you know, it's a massive endurance feat.
Exactly.
And I think the only thing that Yujiro has that's close to that is fighting the American army for probably months in the in Vietnam.
Yeah, exactly. And so he said, yeah, because he was fighting them, but even then he took time to like walk around and like hunt and eat and get rest and stuff like that, and it's just like,
and you know, examine things tactically and whatnot. He doesn't have a feat that's anywhere remotely close to what Hayato has.
Yeah, exactly. So, and it's not like a freaking One Punch Man thing where it's like a joke thing. So it's just like, okay, for what it's shown, like he probably could, but for right now, like right on the page, he doesn't have it. So I gotta give this.
I'm not really sure. You know, I'm gonna say that Hayato wins.
Yeah.
But you know, it could change.
Right. Yeah. Definitely. So yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, did you want to say anything else on him?
No. That's it.
Okay. Cool. And then we go on to, wow, so yeah, this is like pretty much surprisingly. So far, Hayato's won in strength, barely, speed by a mile, intellect, they were comparable. There was a draw. And so and then Hayato just won endurance, but we have one more thing so we can just see how durable they are. Like you might be surprised, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. All right, so I think the biggest surprise for the Elder here is that we don't have very many durability feats.
Yeah.
Because nobody ever hits the man.
Exactly. that says something. That's a feat in itself.
The only thing that we have that's remotely a durability feat is the one we just used with him fighting a master on the same level as him for about a week.
Right.
So he's able to fight someone who is comparable in strength, speed, or at least, you know, combat ability, because the guy's got a weapon, and so the weapon's going to give him an advantage.
Right.
So the guy may not actually be as strong or fast as the Elder, but he just also has a weapon. Mm-hmm. But the point being there that so if we take his top level strength feat,
right,
and then apply it to his durability,
right,
then that's the only way that we're going to get remotely something that's similar. So basically, he should be able to take what he can dish out. Right.
Because he should hopefully be able to take what he can dish out. Because if we go to over to Yujiro, we've seen Yujiro eat a lot. Like boy's been hit a lot. Like he was freaking.
Sometimes he just takes it.
Yeah, he just tanks it. He just eats it. Like freaking Dopo Orochi, freaking wailed on him with hardcore abilities, and he was just able to eat it and just be like, "Oh, that was funny. Like that was good." He was able to fight on par with Kaku when he was like, oh, like originally he dodged the punch just to see how strong it was, and then he saw it, and then like once saw how strong it was, he just started to eat it. And he was just like, okay, well that's how strong you are. Like, and so Kaku's punch was able to like crack stone walls, like a massive like stone wall like him, not on the level of Yujiro, but like still quite a significant amount. And then he was able
to really
to
tank it, because I know he used Shaolei, but did he actually tank the Shaolei punch?
Cause like, remember when like Kaku was like getting mad at him, and he was like, "Oh, okay, so you think you're better than me?" And then he just started to like wail on him with like punches and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I assumed that was him punching with the same force he punched that wall to Yujiro, just to be like, "Oh, I'll show you." And Yujiro was just sitting there tanking it with his demon back.
Okay, yeah, and plus that was post transformation.
Yeah.
Which we'll talk about. I think that's an X Factor conversation we need to have. So okay, yeah. So that's a good thing there that we can use as far as his other durability things. Let me see here.
Like, would you say? Because I remember we were talking earlier about combining like stamina and like durability or something like that. So do you think like with his heightened stamina, of course, that would add to his durability, since he's like, oh, I'm able to like, keep avoiding Yujiro's striking power, since he can probably outlast Yujiro, and there's like ultimately nothing like stopping Hayato from like, you know what, like, do you think Hayato with his weird ability could erase Yujiro's memories of fighting?
No.
Okay.
And the only reason I say that is because I think that only works. It's like Conqueror Hockey.
Oh, okay.
You know, it's like it only works on like, weaklings.
Right. Mm-hmm.
It's like that other move, what's it called? The Ryozan Blast or something like that. Yeah, Ryozan Blast. Ryozan Ha. That it's basically an expression of his ki, and it makes people run away.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So I mean, I think those moves are only useful for.
Yeah, his ki is another thing. Like that's a cool thing that he has. Like I think that can even add to boost him up as well, because it's just.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute with like X Factor stuff.
Okay.
As far as Yujiro, he was able to tank a sword strike from Musashi. Mm-hmm. That's a big deal.
Yeah, Musashi is like super busted in Baki too. So like
what can Musashi cut in half? Let's think about that for a second.
Oh, he cut in half like 10 bodies with ease, and he cut through like the stone thing at the bottom that it was able to do.
Oh, he also cut through an armored vehicle.
Yeah, he cut through an armored vehicle.
Okay. Armored vehicles all made of steel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because like right now I'm just like looking at it, because there's a lot of stuff where it's just like, okay, well, it's sort of like the inverse of what we did before, of with like, okay, Hayato, like Yujiro has a bunch of stuff they say but we never see, and Hayato does a lot of stuff that we can imply, like, oh, of course that would apply to him as well. We never seen him do it, but we can like apply it to him, like, oh yeah, well he should be able to do that.
And that's only because we have to scale. So we have to take we have to take what we know about him, and then if we have a comparable opponent, then we can try to apply that in a similar fashion. It cutting through steel is a big deal, and the fact that he can tank that, and Musashi says basically that that Yujiro's body's like armor.
Okay.
The only problem with that stupid outlier feat where he gets shot with the trank.
right. Yeah, exactly. That's the stupid feat, like,
which
literally,
we're gonna cut out. That one doesn't count.
Yeah, exactly. It's so stupid because, again, like we said earlier, like Yujiro does all this stuff and he's able to just to tank it, and he's fine.
Yeah. He falls several stories onto a car.
Yeah, that's durable.
So, and he's fine. It's not a big deal. Let's see here.
Also, the Elder is able to be like be pierced by like edged weapons a little, but it's not like what it depends who they are. Like, it really depends on who they are. Like,
have you? Do you? I don't remember that. Do you have a particular?
Let me find it. I could have swore like there was a thing that was like he got like nicked. It wasn't like anything like freaking I'm damaged tremendously. I think he just got nicked a little. Let me see if I can find that exact thing. Elder stabbed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that may give us a way to be able to scale that.
Yeah, exactly. So let me see.
It also depends on who cut him. Mm-hmm. So if we think about he has the ability to exert 150,000 pounds.
Right.
Of force. That means his body also has to be able to take that much force.
Right. So I would give it like durability wise, and I would say like, oh yeah, he definitely has like some advantage if he can take that. But again, I think it really depends. For instance, I think like if Musashi, like the Elder let Musashi hit him. First off, like I don't think the Elder like he would just dodge his like strikes because he's not gonna let some random guys slash him. But like if Musashi like just like did it and he let him do it, I think it would like make him like bleed a little or something like that. But it's not like, oh my god, this is ridiculously, OP or something.
But as I think about it, I think this might be something that Yujiro has over the Elder.
Yeah. Like honestly, I'm thinking it too because he, again, because you have to look at it like this. Like, all right, you are, if you're this strong, right? Like you can dodge being hit and stuff like that, and it's smart when you're like, okay, I'm not gonna get hit at all, so of course I can, keep fighting and keep going and stuff like that. But like the fact that Yujiro will openly let you hit him and then like see how much like he can tank, and then the fact that he constantly, like they even say in the manga, Yujiro constantly gets stronger after every battle. So like when he gets hit by someone strong, his body will adapt. Like, oh, okay, I'm getting more and more durable from this. So it's just like, yeah, I honestly probably would give him a little bit in the durability apartment in that regard.
Yeah, so I mean, like we've noticed that they're okay, because if we think about it in terms of like their strength,
right?
We said that they're comparable in strength, but the Elder edges him out just a little bit.
Right.
Okay, so that means that if they were to fight, that the Elder is capable of giving as good as he's gotten.
Right.
So that then the Elder's Yujiro's almost as strong as him.
Right.
That him being hit by Yujiro would be like being hit by himself.
Right.
So, God dang, this is rough.
Yeah, this is really rough.
Okay, so has Yujiro ever been hit by anything stronger than like something that's stronger than him?
I mean, like, he's been hit by a lot of animals, I guess, or has he? Like, because he fights random, like, giant animals just for the hell of it.
Pickle is physically stronger than him.
Yeah, Pickle's stronger than him, right?
Yeah, he's physically stronger than him.
Physically, yeah, but I don't know if he's like ever been, because like we've seen him like start bleeding a bit, but it was like, it's not like, oh, he's like, oh, so out of it by getting like knocked and stuff like that, like freaking.
Okay. I'm gonna say, based on everything that we've got here, and based on their the scaling that we have from them being almost similar in strength, and then the Elder fighting somebody who's about his level for and not being dead or whatever.
Right.
That their durability is probably similar,
right.
Most likely similar, except because we have more feats, I'm gonna give it to Yujiro.
Okay.
So like strength, but durability, he's edging out the Elder.
Right. That seems fair, because again, like Elder constantly dodges attacks and stuff like that, and that's great that you dodge, but it's just like you don't really show how durable you are. And to be fair here, like there is like we've seen Yujiro get hurt before. Like Doppo hurt him. Like before he activated his demon back, like Doppo did hurt him. Like he was like, oh, what the heck? And then he only got mad when he saw Baki walk in. Like, what the hell are you doing here, kid?
Yeah. So now that would this is sort of off topic, but if you'll grant me a moment.
Okay, go ahead.
When during that fight, which by the way I love that fight.
Right.
He Dopo was strong enough to hurt him at that point. I don't know if he would still be because he gets stronger over time.
Right.
But he was able to hurt Yujiro with his punch, with the Seiken.
Right.
When Baki comes out and sees him fighting, and sees that, because it was right after that he had gotten hit, and he's like, that is one of those moments where you can look at Yujiro and recognize that he's sort of a normal person,
right?
Because he's like, I'm not going to look like a punk in front of my kid,
right? Yeah,
so
exactly.
He's like, nah, I'm ending this.
Exactly. He was just like, nah, that's not happening. I'm not gonna look like, if Baki wasn't here, this may be going on. But it's like, no, Baki, no, I'm the god to you. You have to remember this.
He's like, I need to let my son know how strong I am. I'm not gonna let there be an instance where he think I might lose.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Anyway, that's another video that I'm thinking about doing is the
morality of the Hanma family.
Yeah, basically the morality of the Hanma family.
Oh, that'd be a good video, a good philosophy topic.
Anyway, so was that our last
I believe so.
thing that we were looking at? Okay, all right. So the X Factor now. Let's talk about that.
All right, let's talk about the X Factor right now, because like so far it is like, so just to keep everyone like updated who's been listening. All right, Strength Factor, Hayato wins by a smidge. Speed Factor, he obliterates Yujiro in speed. Intellect, it was a draw because like Hayato has more skills, but Yujiro's more intelligent and tactical. Endurance wise, it went to Hayato as well, and then durability wise, we're giving it to Yujiro just from all the stuff he's tanked, since the Elder never really tanked much during the thing. He constantly like dodged it. So we don't 100% know, but yeah, let's talk about X Factors right now.
All right, so obviously we know the X Factor that we absolutely know the most is Demon in the back.
Right.
So Yujiro has the ability to, activate. In this may be an actual supernatural type thing in the Baki verse. We don't know.
Right.
We don't really have an understanding of what it actually is.
Yeah, because they do supernatural stuff. I mean, that's how Musashi came back now. Like, it's just like, yeah, they brought his soul from the other world and stuff.
And
so.
the demon in the back is like basically prophesied by like Egyptian like stuff on the walls in Egypt.
Yeah, exactly.
So I mean, there's definitely some sort of supernatural thing to it. So let's think about what it does to him.
Okay.
When he activates it, one of the things I think that it immediately does is it completely eliminates any previous damage taken.
Right.
And the same thing is for Baki. Mm-hmm. When he has activated the demon for himself,
right,
it has basically just refreshed him to where he's able to, be at his max.
Right.
As far as amping abilities, I'm trying to think what are some times that Yujiro has activated the demon. Obviously against
Kaku, Dopo.
Dopo.
Did he activate against Baki? I can't remember at the top of my head.
I can't remember honestly either.
Let me
see.
look.
Let's see if we can find it. He used it against the polar bear.
Okay. Yeah, he did use it against
the
polar bear. Okay.
I honestly don't think he used it against Baki because he had a shirt on the whole time.
Okay. Yeah, he did.
Whether or not it's an amp.
Well, he did.
Whatever.
Didn't he use it against Musashi a little bit? Like when he flexed his back a little?
Maybe. No, it's not. No, if it is, it's at least not referenced in the sources that we have.
Okay.
It seems to like completely bring his your energy back.
Right.
So that may be a bit of an endurance durability amp.
Right.
So if he's tired and he goes, okay, demon time, then all of a sudden he's ready to go again.
Right.
It also, he does it anytime he's ready to kill somebody.
Exactly.
So that must, that max strength. Now, we don't know that necessarily makes him stronger.
Right.
But at the very least, he's not playing anymore.
Exactly.
So we could probably call that killer instinct. He's definitely not afraid to take a life. I think that's probably the only things that we can probably attribute to the demon, because we haven't seen anything else.
Yeah, pretty much, because like it's just like he's either gonna kill you or he's going to beat your ass with it, and then like he always like wins when he activates it. So it's a technique that so like if he was fighting Hayato and then he activated his demon back, and then like when he did his demon back move, like he was getting beaten and then he activated it and then like went back to fight Hayato, like I think just from Hayato's like stamina and ability to like have the endurance to keep fighting, and the fact that he's like just stronger, like he would just like still have the edge over Yujiro even if he activates his demon back. Because I think it's just like, all right, if you activate the demon back, it's like in a video game where like your powers go back to like full health, but I don't think it's not like a Senzu bean where every time it's like, oh, I got beat up again, demon back, oh, I can heal right every time.
You can only do it once.
Yeah, it's just a one-time thing. So it's just like, I feel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's just say, because we don't know. Let's just say that potentially bridges the gap in the stamina and like stamina department.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's just say it will.
Right.
Whatever. What is the X factor for Hayato? Would you say it's ki usage?
Yeah, I would say ki. Definitely his ki. Like he's able to do all these like different abilities with his ki and stuff like that, since he was able to like remember like he fused it with like the wind to shoot like a air Kamehameha.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
There's like an air attack, and then there's the one where he basically makes everybody run away.
Yeah, it's basically like a hockey from One Piece in that way, where it's just like. But I think. Mm-hmm.
I don't know that the key thing is useful beyond like fodder.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So I think perhaps his X factor is not relevant to this fight.
Okay, yeah, like I don't think like his X factor, like, because the key intimidation, I don't think it would work on Yujiro. He'd just smile and smirk and be like, okay, yeah, that's funny. Yeah, okay, what are you doing?
He's like, what's this little trick that you're playing? Fight for real.
Yeah, fight for real. It's just like, wow, you attacked me with wind. Wow, use your fists. That's what we do here. Something like that. So.
Okay, so Yujiro has on the X factor, he's winning in that department as far as like an actual useful X factor.
Right.
All right, we have all of that stuff. Let's take it as a whole.
Okay.
Just for everybody listening, go ahead and list off who's won each section.
Yeah. All right, so everyone who's listening, all right. So basically, so far, Hayato has won strength by a bit. Hayato has outclassed him in speed by a large margin. Hayato and Yujiro tie on intellect because we combine skills and intellect. So like Hayato has more skills, but Yujiro has it shows that he has more tactical knowledge and an advantage in that regard. Hayato won in endurance because he was able to keep fighting for a week, and we've never seen Yujiro do something on par with that since, he's done like. Again, it was just we never seen it. And then durability-wise, we gave it to Yujiro because we've seen him tank a lot more stuff than Hayato, because Hayato typically dodges. And that's not a diss on Hayato's durability. Like, the dude's clearly a strong guy, and he could probably he's not a glass cannon or anything by any means, but it's just he dodges most of the attacks while Yujiro usually eats most of the attacks. So just from the visuals we've seen, we give a durability to Yujiro.
Yeah. So I mean, basically in that one, the elder, it's give and take.
Yeah.
But the deciding factor of this fight is going to be speed.
Yes. Definitely.
Because even if you use the X factor of the demon to make their durability, make their stamina the same.
Right.
The level of speed that the elder is able to operate at, and for extended periods of time, is insane. because we know that Yujiro is capable of being speed blitzed
Right.
because
Yes.
Baki did it.
Yeah, exactly. So we've seen Yujiro get speed blitz. We've seen Yujiro get, hurt. And freaking Elder would just like blitz him. And the fact that like, even if he's just a smidge stronger, that smidge stronger put to work would just do so much damage, especially as accumulation,
At
like
speed.
just peppering him, just keep peppering him with stuff.
Hell, even if it's not an issue of multiple strikes taking it down, if he's moving that much faster than Yujiro, a single strike is going to do an insane amount of damage.
Exactly.
Because lifting strength and striking strength are not the same.
Exactly. Like speed and power, like speed is power in that regard. And like, bah.
So, I mean, the sheer speed difference is going to make Yujiro have a really tough time being competitive in this fight. As a matter of fact, I would probably go so far as to say that this fight is going to be over very quickly. Now, that would be if they were going all out from the get-go.
Right.
I feel like the Elder would probably want to play.
Yeah, exactly. Like the thing is this, like because I know some people in the like comment section will get like like comment like, okay, well realistically this is how it would go, but this is how it would go. Like so like you have to look at it like from a perspective. It was just like, okay, if they're both out for like blood and stuff like that, then it can be over pretty fast. If the Elder's just like, I want to just lay this dude out and do this, like it can actually be over pretty fast in that regard. And it's not going to be easy, but it will be over faster than that. But like realistically, if it was just like plop plop, they both met each other, they both like want to see each other out, the Elder more than likely wants to play. Yujiro will adapt to him as they fight and get stronger. Then the Elder will go it, and then like eventually, just from the stamina, the Elder would have the advantage and like take the win in that regard.
I mean, like I honestly don't even think that it would come down to a stamina fight, because at the very beginning, while they're feeling each other out, because the Elder's capable of operating at the speeds that he's capable of operating at, he may not even get hit.
Right.
At all, because we know that he doesn't tank things; he dodges them. That's not to say that he's not capable of tanking it. But he just dodges it because he's a martial artist.
Right.
So it's possible that Yujiro may not, even though he's learning all these techniques, he may not even land a shot.
Yeah, exactly. Like if like he landed a shot, the Elder probably be like surprised and be like, "Oh snap!" But or maybe the Elder would like probably, if he wanted to, like, which I doubt from just the manga showing it, like he probably would just like, oh, let me see what he has comparable like to hit me with, and then like get hit, see how it feels, and then like you just see like, oh, that's how that was. Okay, that's how hard he punches. All right, now I got a taste for it.
But we do know that the Elder also, because he has sort of kind of a feel that Yujiro, because he likes to go conquer dojos for fun.
Yeah.
So like we know that he's capable of being, just winning.
Right.
Like he's not, gonna play around and get bodied by an accident. He's he's gonna win because he's set out to win.
Right.
The only time we ever see him restrict himself is when he's teaching.
Exactly.
Which would be funny to watch him teach Yujiro. I think Yujiro would be super mad.
Yeah, that'd be hilarious. And again, like
super mad.
He'd be so funny because he'd be trying to teach him, but like,
and Hayato's enough of a troll to do it.
Yeah, he would. He totally would. He would just be messing with it, like, yeah. So why don't you try punching like this? I know what I'm doing. And so like, that'd be hilarious if they actually did that. And then like again, like the only loss, a quote unquote loss you could give Hayato is Kenichi, but again, like I really doubt Kenichi beat that guy. Like I just honestly think like he was just like, yeah, my daughter, you're a good enough kid, go bang my hot daughter, like granddaughter, hot granddaughter. There you go.
Yeah. Well, I mean that's definitely an interesting fight. I definitely I agree with you. I don't think that Kenichi actually ever beat him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they have a lot of similar abilities, but at the end of the day, I think, and I've maintained this for a long time, Hayato wins. And now, mind you, I used to think that Hayato won in every category.
Right.
So there definitely was some surprises here. But it still doesn't change the overall outcome.
Exactly. Yeah, and I'm still on the guard, like, just from when I was rereading the Kenichi manga, because like I want to do a video comparing like Kenichi and Kengan and Baki and all that stuff. So it's just like it was like so ridiculous how crazy strong the people in Kenichi are. So again, like yeah, I'm always been like, oh yeah, Hayato would win for this regard, and it's just it's just insane. In Kenichi, they're ridiculously strong. Baki, they're super strong too, but it's just there's a level where it's just okay, no.
No, I think you're right, because in the Baki verse, Yujiro doesn't really have peers. And the Kenichi verse is full of people who operate at a level that would easily be able to compete in like high level Baki. Like it's just normal.
Right.
Like all the Ryuzenpaku masters, all the people from Yami, not Yami, the adult version.
Oh, wasn't it like
the people who are the Satsujinken masters?
Oh yeah, I know. Oh my god, the not the Ragnarok people, or is it the?
It's
oh god, I'm blanking on. I know what you're talking about. I know the exact thing you're talking about. Dang it. See, I keep blanking. Like I know what I'm talking about, but it's just
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
But if you guys have not read the, if you've watched the anime for Kenichi and you've not read the manga, do yourself a favor, go read it. It's good.
Yeah. It's fun.
Yeah.
Also, you get to see boobs, like unedited boobs. Yeah.
Oh
you know
yeah,
how
I
much
was so surprised when that happened.
Yeah.
Because
So
he was like early on, it was like fan service porn.
Yes, yeah, exactly. That's pretty much what it was. Fan service, hentai, hentai. It's just like, yeah, so yeah, you get to see like all types of stuff for like Shigure and Miu and like other girls.
It's like,
so yeah.
I really can't believe that he was just like, I don't care anymore.
Yeah, exactly. He's just like, yeah, let's go ahead and do it. So there you go. And as I said with Kengan, yeah, Kenichi wins in women again, since there's barely any women in Baki. So.
Oh yeah, and there's no strong women in Baki.
Yeah, it's just like it's a sausage fest in Baki. Like
I don't know this. So please forgive me. I had a friend of mine who theorized that Itagaki Keisuke is attracted to men.
Well, isn't he? Oh, well, he has a daughter. Well, yeah, I mean, he could be bi or have a daughter or something
because
like that. Yeah.
he focuses so much on the male form and like whatever, and it goes beyond power fantasy sometimes.
Yeah, it's true. There's like a lot of stuff where it's just like, okay, Itagaki,
like,
I ain't hating on you. You
have
do what you do.
A little bit of a homoerotic feel to certain moments.
Yeah. I mean, and no hate from me, man.
Especially with the way that they equate fighting and sexuality. Like they specifically do that when Baki and
Kozue, go ahead.
Yeah, like they say this is the opposite but the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I get personally that makes sense to me. And
right.
Like, but yeah. Anyway.
No. I agree full-heartedly. So, Itagaki, you rock whatever you want to do, my day. So it's good. So I like the titty. So I'm gonna go. So for people like boobies, go read Kenichi and fighting.
You've learned well from me.
Yes, since I've learned a lot.
So yeah, I don't know. Closing remarks.
Okay, closing remarks. Both strong fighters, both super OP, but when it comes down to who wins in a fight, if you're like someone who's trying to like prove a point to your friend right now, so far we can tell you this, so you can just clip this and send it to your friends listening. All right, so strength wise, all right, Hayato is a smidge stronger. Speed wise, he outclasses Yujiro. Intellect wise, they're like matched. It's a draw. Endurance wise, Hayato fought for like 7 days nonstop. Yujiro hasn't done anything close to that from what's shown. So yeah, definitely Hayato wins. And durability wise, we would give the slight edge inverse. To Yujiro.
Yeah. So yeah, and then So Hayato wins.
Yeah, Hayato wins. So that was a good video. Thank you for joining me today, Sensei. Like, thank you so much. Like, again, this guy right here is the OG anime trainer. Like, again, I love his work. Everyone, like, go check out his stuff. Go subscribe to his channel. I have it linked in the description down below. He's freaking great at everything he does. He's been a coach to me since I was a teenager and got none but respect for him. And anything you want to say, Sensei?
Yeah, you can check me out at The Anime Trainer, at The Anime Trainer on Twitter. It's the channel's The Anime Trainer on YouTube, and we are trying to get to 10,000 subscribers by September 1st. If we do that, then I'll do a live stream where I do a 10,000 rep workout just for the heck of it. Probably take me 8 to 10 hours to do that.
Nice.
But, and then we're trying to get 20K by the end of 2020.
Oh, nice. Yeah, well, definitely all y'all go check him out. All right, he's great. Like, I love him to death. He's freaking awesome. Helped me out so much. And yeah, like, also for me, I'm just gonna say this, I have new Tough Like the Tunes coming, a few coming this month, so they're gonna be super fun. I hope you check them out, and some Would That Workouts I've been working on too. But yeah, go give him a follow. He's great. Thank you all for watching. If you made it this far in the video, just because I like to see how much people get this far, say Miu Titties for the win. Tiddies. No, or Shigure Titties for the win. You know, whatever. Like Kenichi no, not Kenichi. Yeah, you know what? Yes, Shigure Tiddies for the win. Hashtag.
Okay. So I have something. I always spell it with T's instead of D's.
Yeah. Well, they're called D's because they're double D's.
Yeah,
okay. That's why they call them Tiddies. Sorry, I don't know if that's true. I just made that up on the spot, but it sounds valid.
Nice.
Yeah. So hashtag this little thing right here, and yeah, thank you for watching.
Thank you guys very much. It was fun to be on the channel again. I will see you guys on my channel, and until next time, guys, from me, good luck and train hard, and end us out here, Jordan.
Yes, keep calm, booyah on, and don't forget, Manga I, train hard, booyah.